now just a little bit about movement during the lunar cycle, the dark moon, especially for with respect to, healing, transformation, or ascension.
Yes. Okay. So, and I may have talked about this on other shows that we've done. I know I talked about it because I do a lot of work with the lunar cycle and particularly the 3 days of the dark moon. So, if you think about what the lunar cycle is, it's a kind of a representation of the feminine mysteries, right? And we have kind of a time of inspiration at the waxing moon. And that's the time when we are stepping into our virgin or maiden energy. And we usually have more inspiration. We're inspired to get into action to bring our creative seeds to fruition at the full moon, which is when things are revealed and illuminated. And that's really in the height of kind of like that um, ovulation stage, and it's connected to the mother in her fullness. And then we have the waning stage after that, and that's about releasing, letting go, dying to the old, so that we can prepare ourselves for the initiation of the dark moon. And so I typically take women through a process to for the whole lunar cycle, but whether you're kind of noticing, this is about understanding who you are, your light, your shadow, seeing what triggers you during the month, moving with that, just acknowledging it. And then when you get to the dark moon, there's sort of a 3 day process. And in a nutshell, that 3 day process is about on the first day before the day of the new moon. So the first day, what I would call the first day of the dark moon, you're releasing. So you're kind of gathering up all the pieces from the last lunation and saying, okay, what am I celebrating? What am I bringing into my heart? What's the wisdom? But what things triggered me and what old stories are those about? Old stories, roles, identities you've played, emotions, belief systems, all that kind of stuff that we're needing to let go of. And I have a ceremony that people can do on that day. And then the next day is about resting, receiving. That's the red tent day when we're still and we want to be nourished in all the ways that feel good to us and really we've emptied ourselves of all the things that we're holding. And then on the third day is when we start to move through into that new expansion and excitement, and the new seeds come in. And there's a meditation that I do to bring in those new seeds and fertilize them and commit to birth them and nourish them. And then you just rinse and repeat every cycle. And it's a great process for transformation and learning. But what I realized is that we can bring movement into this to amplify that. So now I'm starting to work with that. So how that might look is on the first day, you're going to do movement that's more about releasing. And so you might do some shaking or letting go and imagining, but as you move your body, imagine moving those things down into the earth, giving them over to Mother Earth to be transmuted back into love, into compost. And then on the second day, you move in stillness, which sounds like an oxymoron, but there are ways to move in beautiful micro movements in the body. And then on the third day, then you're starting to move this energy up and back down, fertilizing these seeds. And then you might have, more of a celebratory burst of energy and you're moving again into creation. So that's how I'm exploring and expanding on the work that I already do, using movement to kind of amplify and make it more.